Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pop Go the Writers. Yeah, I got a cough drop in my mouth. I can't do it.
You're lucky you didn't shoot the cough drop. Like it smacks against the screen and sticks there.
Yeah, I could see that happening. But how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Are you better than last time?
Yes, I can walk around. I can actually get up and walk to the kitchen or get out to my truck. I've driven. I actually found my razor again.
Man, you're styling.
So I am definitely doing better.
Good.
Let me tip that down a little bit. It's a little too bright. But yeah,
Big week, huh?
what?
Big
Yeah, big
week,
week.
huh?
Big week with
Yeah.
the Deadpool trailer, which I just watched again
hmm
before the thing started. I was watching it, but I went, "Oh, it's 6." So,
I was kind of wondering.
and then the Fantastic Four announcement, which was kind of a weird way to announce it.
Yes. That is
Um,
something that I wanted to bring up to you that,
there's rumor of a new casting for the MCU, no specific part yet, but multiple sources are saying that Henry Cavill is joining the MCU.
in what capacity?
Originally, people were saying Doctor Doom, but that's being debunked. They're saying Captain Britain, that they're going to do something with that character, and the character from Secret Invasion with the scroll
The scroll. Well,
at the end who could change the Super Scroll.
oh, you mean the Beyonder?
No, the Super Scroll.
Oh, the Super Scroll. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were trying to say like the Super Scroll. Okay. My opinion is that you don't bring Henry Cavill into anything unless you make him a very high profile character. And honestly, Captain Britain doesn't really qualify for that. Doctor Doom would. Boy,
Yeah, but do you want to cover his face?
I get it. I do totally get that. I mean, unless you have a significant amount of Victor, before you go to the scarring, you
Yeah,
know. I know. Boy.
I don't know. That one still, we'll have to see if it works out, if that turns out to
Yeah,
be real. But like I
yeah.
said, multiple sources are claiming it, and these are the same ones that said Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben, what Bacharach, and Joseph, whatever, were going to be the Fantastic Four, and they are. So, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been saying it since before the actors' strike.
Mm-hmm.
So, Evan Moss, Bacharach, and Joseph something.
Well, do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait, or what?
No. I actually wanted to start on something different.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to get the name right at least. Joseph Quinn.
Okay.
All right. So, Lisa's down. She's visiting.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And we always catch up on TV when she's down here
Mm-hmm.
because she doesn't have a lot of the streaming channels I do. So she comes down and we watch like 6 episodes of Death and Other Details,
Mm-hmm.
which, if you're a murder mystery person who like them a little quirky, that is such a great show.
Mm-hmm.
It's over on Hulu. It's Mandy Patinkin and Violet Bean and some of them you might, Jerry Burns, Raul Cooley. Um,
You mentioned this last time, I remember. Boy,
yeah.
murder mysteries are just like everything right now.
Oh, yeah. And again, this has got a little bit of um, Only Murders in the Building, the
Hmm.
quirkiness without the outright humor.
Okay.
And seeing Mandy Patinkin in it is great. There's a mysterious figure, which I'm not sure is going to end up being somebody that we've met, or if it'll be like, we just get the mysterious figure at the end.
Yeah.
and it's not anybody we've seen before, and they're kind of setting it up that way. And I
Yeah.
was thinking how awesome it would be if it was somebody like Carrie Ells or Christopher Guest or Chris Sarandon. You know, Christopher Guest would be the perfect one now that I think about it.
Yeah. Mandy Patinkin will always be that guy in Dick Tracy to me. I just
Dick Tracy, wow.
you
I always think of a name of
there
my
needs to be a revival. There needs to be a Dick Tracy renaissance,
You know why there's been no Dick Tracy movies, right?
I'm sorry?
You know why there's never been any more Dick Tracy movies or TV shows?
I I'm half expecting a joke answer, but what is the
No,
answer?
there's
Okay.
a serious answer.
Uh-huh.
Warren Beatty, who made the last film,
Oh,
has it.
yes. I know this one. Go ahead. I
Yeah,
think you
he
told me
keeps
this
doing
one.
these stupid little 1 hour long things on TCM
Uh-huh.
where he puts on the costume, and it's just enough for him to hang on to the rights,
Yeah,
but
right.
nobody else can do it.
So weird.
Yeah. By the way, hello, Ed.
Weird.
Good to see you.
I honestly think that movie needs to be re-examined. I mean, I think it has like a kind of a cult following,
Oh yeah.
something, but it's really like a comic strip come to life. Um, it has things going for it.
Yeah, no, I think that it actually was a good movie for its time, had a great
Mhm,
cast.
Yeah.
They did a
Oh,
good
yeah.
job with it, but it's past its point now. Let it be a classic and tell
Sure.
Warren to let the damn rights go. My
Sure.
God.
Sure. I just saw the other day that there's a new Dick Tracy comic book coming out, and it's supposed to be a new take on it. He's like drawn, like in a serious way and or whatever. I can't think of what company it is that's doing that. Did you see anything about
I
that?
haven't yet, but every time I
Okay.
think of Dick Tracy drawn seriously, I think of The Spirit.
Yeah.
You know,
Now
actually,
there's a movie that needs a renaissance.
I was thinking of The Spirit the other day because they announced that Stephen Amell is going to be the lead in a spinoff of Suits
Uh-huh.
in LA, and you're thinking, how does this tie into The Spirit?
Uh-huh.
Well, because Suits, the original Suits starred Gabriel Mock, who played the Spirit in the movie.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other Spirit movie.
Oh, with
Sam J. Jones,
yeah,
the TV movie. Wait a minute, was there a movie of the
yeah,
Spirit?
directed by Frank Miller,
Oh
starred
my
Gabriel Mock,
God.
had Scarlett Johansson and Samuel L. Jackson. It
Yeah,
was done very much in the style that
that
Miller
wasn't
did the Sin City movies.
okay. Yes. Yes. Wow. That's you know what? That's like the Green Lantern movie. Like I've totally forgotten that there was such a thing.
Okay,
Wow. Yeah, and it sunk like a rock, right?
Spirit movie, Green Lantern movie,
Uh-huh.
Green Hornet. Just in case you need a reference point, Seth
I can't
Rogen,
wait.
Green
I can't
Hornet.
even see the Green
That's
Hornet
the
movie. It's
point.
so.
That's the
You
point.
know what? It had a good Kato in it.
There was nothing. They had Christoph Waltz, and it was a bad movie. It is so bad, my brother liked it.
Uh-huh. Much like the Phantom Menace, it too will have a renaissance someday.
Phantom Menace, Green Hornet.
On a
I
positive
would
note of
happily watch the sequel trilogies
uh-huh.
over watching Green Hornet again. I would watch The Flash over Green Hornet. I would watch Wonder Woman 1984 over Green Hornet.
I heard you watch the Marvels.
Yes, that's where I was getting.
Okay.
The other thing
I knew
Lisa
it
and
was
I
going
watched,
somewhere.
the other thing I watched was the Marvels.
Yeah.
And Lisa, of course, had seen a bunch of stuff online.
Uh-huh.
would you put Sharknado higher or lower than the Green Hornet? I've only seen one Sharknado, and Sharknado did exactly what it was trying to do. So I would put it above Green Hornet.
Yeah, you can't fault it, right? I mean, it is what
No,
it
no.
is.
It was a movie about a Sharknado.
Hmm.
And, you know, and the whole thing where he's jumping at it with a chainsaw and stuff, I'm fine with that because it was supposed to be silly.
Yeah.
You don't take a character like Green Hornet and then make it a stupid Seth Rogen comedy.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so the Marvels. So
Yeah.
I went. I watched the behind the scenes making first.
Did you?
Yeah. I
Okay.
love behind the scenes
Why
stuff.
not?
But there's also, it's the funny thing about behind the scenes stuff, like the assembled and things like that,
Yeah.
is that you realize that every movie, no matter how bad, there is a sincerity to the people working on it that they
Absolutely.
think they're trying to make a good movie.
We've talked
I
about
am
this before. Yeah, yeah.
I am sure there's going to be a behind the scene footage for Madam Web where you see them putting their absolute heart and souls
Yeah.
into this movie.
Yeah.
And then you see that it's absolute crap.
Yeah.
So I watched that
Yeah.
and all of the negativity towards Brie Larson about, oh, she's stiff and all this other stuff. And I'm watching her behind the scenes and she is laughing and joking and hugging and caring about the other people in the movie. They really are trying to make a good movie. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in with an open mind. Now, Lisa had seen all of the negativity online
Mm.
and kind of got the impression that it was a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
So her and I sat down with trying to clear our minds and going, okay, let's just try to enjoy this movie.
Mm-hmm.
We both enjoyed it.
Good.
Is it great? No. I think there's a bit of a heavy editing to it. I think there's probably, I mean, they made it a short movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's probably more footage that would have made it a little better. I think they probably overcut it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the negativity I saw online, and she did as well, the musical number.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you watch it and you think that suddenly we're breaking into the greatest showman in the middle of a Marvel movie. And that's not what it is. They
Mm-hmm.
land on a planet where the inhabitants sing as their form of communication.
Right. It's explained.
Yeah. Is that bizarre for us? But it also seems plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They do one opening song,
Mm-hmm.
and then the prince, her husband,
Mm-hmm.
starts to sing a song. She stops him
Mm-hmm.
and says, "We need to talk." He goes, "Okay, we can talk." And one of the best lines of the movie, and I'm going to spoil it because it's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
The other two, Monica and Kamala, looking, wait, he doesn't have to sing? And she just turns and says, "Oh, he's bilingual."
Right.
I'm like,
I'd forgotten
oh,
that line. Yeah.
such a great line.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And there were some other really good lines. Have you seen the movie?
Oh, yeah. I saw it in the theater.
Okay.
Like opening day. Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciated its kind of frantic nature. I liked that it was like boom, 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 and kept going, and throwing things at you left and right. I mean, I actually appreciated that. I had I enjoyed it more than I thought that I was going to, and I walked out thinking it was a little bit more even substantial than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, if you look at it, they do establish some of the MCU, the universe there. They say, okay, these are a pair of negabands, and the negabands were used to create all the jump points in the world. And we've seen the jump points in Guardians and everything else. Those are important. And it makes sense that these guys could then travel around the galaxy and create new jump points.
Right.
They're like the Google Maps, in a way. I mean, so that made sense to me. And then these got separated.
Yeah.
And that she was using the Cosmo Rod or the Ultimate Weapon or whatever it is to power up the band and create this portal that would allow her to, you know, do the Spaceball plot. Um, did I think her plan was great? No. Did I think the character could have been better developed? The villain? Yeah. But what Marvel movie that you don't think that the villain could be better developed?
Yeah, yes, that's absolutely true. I think what it also did was it actually, continues to build upon the characters of Kamala
Mm-hmm.
and Monica, both of them. It brought back the fan favorite family of Kamala and everybody like that. It continued to grow Nick Fury's role as the guy, looking down on the world from I think it's Sword, isn't it Sword?
Saber.
Saber, yeah, Sword Saber. I knew it was something like that. Scimitar. I think, is there one called Scimitar? Right. Um, I walked away from it saying I still don't like Brie Larson. I don't. It's not the thing about being stiff or whatever. I just, again, it's the same old thing. I don't believe her in the part, but I did. But I backed off from that a little bit. And then watching that making of, you're absolutely right about her. I was surprised because I was thinking I was gonna get a sense of her still thinking that she's the star. And she said a lot that sounded very sincere about now it's these other two characters and we're all kind of equal, and I really
Yeah.
felt that from her. I still don't like Flurkins. In fact, I think I dislike them even more now. I
Oh,
just,
we laughed
yeah,
so hard in the
just let
scene
the
with
Flurkin eat you.
that, and the fact that they were playing Memories from Cats in the background was so. I like this movie a lot more than I expected to. And again, it's got flaws,
Mm-hmm.
but no movie's perfect.
No movie is perfect, and I think we all kind of look for flaws a little bit more than we ever did before,
Yeah,
with those sorts of things. But again, I think a lot of people skipped it, and who really like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they shouldn't. They should really watch it because you pointed it all out. I think it's important. It's an important piece, of growing that Marvel Cinematic Universe.
yeah,
And it's the first real venture into, spoiler alert, that other universe,
yeah.
you know?
So, though there was one thing. There's that the YouTube channel that does how it should have ended.
Mm,
And while I thought some of their commentary was a little off base,
mm,
they did bring up one thing that I'm like, yeah, you kind of hard to get past that,
mm,
which was instead of having all the Flurkins eat the people,
you know?
couldn't Valkyrie just showed up and Rainbow Bridge them all away? We did just see that, right? They did just do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But then
I mean,
we
isn't it good
out of that.
enough that she was in the movie to begin with?
I know. But either don't have her in it or
Yeah, but then you don't have cats eating people.
true. The Flurkin scene was beautiful.
They said what would be visually more memorable and funny or whatever, cats eating people or Valkyrie just coming in. Yeah.
Nope, nope. The Flurkin thing was actually, I loved it. I did. I really did.
I think one of my most favorite parts though, like at the end, was not what I think a lot of people really loved about it, was Binary. That was really cool. That her outfit even looked somewhat like the costume, and that it was her that was Binary. So that was very, very nice. I like that.
Ed asks, so with all the multiverse stuff, what do you think the chances are of seeing Black Widow and Iron Man again? Um, I'm very mixed on that. I think we will see them because they'd be a huge draw.
Mhm.
You know, Robert Downey Jr. back in the MCU, even
Mhm.
if they're just one movie, like Secret Wars or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think they'll do it. Do I think they should? Um, my heart says yes, my head says no. I think they got a good ending for Robert Downey Jr. I think they got a decent ending for Scarlett Johansson
Mhm.
and a decent ending for Chris Evans. Maybe it's
Mhm.
time we just finally accept that and move on. But I don't think people will. I think people are going to want to see them again. And I think if they're willing, then Marvel will bring them back.
I unless there's agreements with those actors and they made it very clear that they were really done, that they wanted those to be the endings to the characters. I think it's if we see those characters at all, I think it's more likely that they'll be recast as alternate universe versions of them, you know. Um
Yeah.
RDJ's not getting any younger.
No, no,
He's
he's not.
my age. You know, by the time they get around to he'll be 60. You know, he's 58 right now.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so I think I'd rather just have them have the integrity of saying those were the endings, you know, and where there's no possible way we can top that. And in fact, we might actually, you know, soil those endings somewhat if we. All I can see with Robert Downey Jr. is having another like holo message from Stark.
Yeah.
That's really all that I can, you know, see. And I mean, the only one that would make sense really is Chris Evans, and that they de-age him like they did in the comics. You know, I think it's more likely that we would see Chris Evans as an alternate universe Steve Rogers for a cameo than really
Yeah.
those other two. You know.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Isn't the idea for Pepper Potts to be the new Iron Man? I don't necessarily think she's supposed to be the new Iron Man, but with
Mm,
her being rescue and um, Rhodes out there as War Machine, and then Ironheart. I think those three are kind of covering that area, but
yeah.
I don't think and also Spider-Man kind of feels that role too.
In all seriousness, Ironheart is supposed to be the new Iron Man slash, you know, Tony Stark. And I know that
Yeah.
might to some people that's going to seem like a stretch, but that's why she was created in the comics
Yep.
for the most part. So really, you know, if they get around to that TV series with her, that's what it's really supposed to be. I think I saw that Gwyneth Paltrow says that she never wants to do it
She
again.
she has said that if it's the right movie, she'll come back,
Oh,
but
okay.
she doesn't want to star in a movie or anything.
Okay.
So
If anything, they can follow up on Morgan
yep,
Stark. You know how quickly they can have a kid grow up, but then that's been how many years since in Endgame now?
yeah. Was that 2019, 2018?
I think it was 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was no, it was 2018. Maybe, but yeah, she's gonna be going to high school pretty soon.
Yeah. Plus, we got the kid from Iron Man 3 that
Yeah.
popped up at the funeral.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and you know what? And you were right. We have War Machine. You know,
yeah. And
um,
he's going to get his own movie.
yeah. You know, if anything, if that all works out well and goes ahead, I can see them having an RDJ, hologram cameo in that
Yeah.
that Rhodey needs that touchstone at a particular time, and maybe even have Gwyneth Paltrow, bring it in and say, Rhodey, I think you need to see this,
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
I think
thing. But
Paltrow will come back. I think Riri Williams will appear in it. I
mhm.
think that'll all come together.
Yeah,
So,
if they're going to build these family type of things, then definitely.
yeah. Answering this real quick, Ed, we talked about it when the first came on the show. Um, there is a rumor going around that Henry Cavill was signed by Marvel. It's coming from multiple sources, but they're all still rumors. They're not any legit ones.
Hmm.
So it's not Deadline or Variety or anything like that. It's Daniel RPK. It's can we have toast? But they're all saying that, and these are the same ones that got the Fantastic Forecast correct. So we're going to have to take that with a grain of salt right now, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, what I had said was that you don't bring Henry Cavill into something like the MCU without really giving him a high profile
Yeah,
role. It can't be like he's playing Stingray or something like that. Although I would like that.
maybe he plays a Beyonder.
Well, yes. I mean, that's pretty big. That's about as big as you get. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because David Hasselhoff wouldn't be able to anymore. Tell me, back in those comics, the original Secret Wars, he wasn't styled after David Hasselhoff.
With the hair and everything. Yeah.
By the way, Ed says Endgame was April 26, 2019.
2019. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
okay. All right. Let's move on. We will talk about Deadpool trailer, and then we'll talk about the Fantastic Four.
All right.
Could he be Galactus? Henry Cavill is Galactus. My only issue with, I'll say this and then we'll move on. My only issue with Henry Cavill is you don't put him in a costume with a mask. You got to give it some way to show his face, or you don't bother to cast him. You get someone like Christoph Waltz or Ben Mendelsohn or Mads Mikkelsen, who has the gravitas in their voice and stuff, then that's who you put as Doctor Doom.
Yeah. The other thing about Galactus is that he would not be really interacting with other actors.
Right.
Now,
could he be Silver Surfer?
No, I'd say no. I was very disappointed to see that. I know I'm sorry, I'm jumping to FF, but I was very disappointed to see that they're supposedly they're looking for a Silver Surfer. I hope that's not the case.
But again, that's just rumors at this point.
Yeah.
There was a rumor for a long time they're going to go with a female Silver Surfer, so which I believe was actually them saying that they were going to go make a Frankie Ray, and they just got that confused.
Yeah.
Because Frankie, of course, became the herald after the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Nova, right?
Yeah.
Isn't she Nova? Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to lean that heavily into the TVA.
Did anybody, for that matter?
I mean, we were given hints that we knew that the guy from Succession was going to play a TVA agent, but the fact that he's basically being Loki for the Fox universe.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. It caught me off guard how much we saw, yet how little we saw.
So here's my question, and maybe this way lies madness, because what does time really mean in the TVA? But where would you say that this might fall in terms of what we've seen in Loki season 1 and 2? After, before, or you just can't correlate it?
One sec. Let me answer this question real quick.
Okay.
The initial rumor was that Cavill was going to be Doctor Doom, but the same ones who are reporting that he signed are reporting that debunking that part of it. So he's not supposed to be Doctor Doom anymore. So, okay. Speaking of Deadpool, I think Marvel does a good job of doing this stuff somewhat in line. I mean, if they're not doing it in sequence, they tell you.
Yeah.
I think this will be post Loki season 2.
Yeah.
Because I think this is going to be them, because it doesn't look like they're out there trying to prune a timeline. It seems like what they're doing is trying to establish a timeline or pull together a proper timeline of X-Men and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think so. I think it's post that. I think Loki's on his little throne and stuff like that already. Okay. At least that's my belief.
Well, do you see the chance that they could somehow pull that in, have Loki somehow touch upon these proceedings? I don't,
Now, see, with the way Deadpool is, I could see him actually walking up to Loki.
yeah,
Hey, nice chair you got here.
yeah,
What you doing?
yeah. Here's the big question. How do you think I mean, I guess it's Deadpool, that's how it is, but how do you justify him saying Marvel, I'm Marvel Jesus, or how does that fit in to to all of this?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that, but he's always been that kind of character that breaks
Yeah.
the fourth wall.
Would it be totally unfair if those couple lines were just in the trailer and they don't end up in the movie, or is that just totally unfair?
I don't think that would be fair. I think we're going to get those kind of comments in the movie
Okay. Okay.
because, like I said, that's just the way the character is.
Yeah.
He says stuff like that.
Yeah. Because
So,
it was the Disney reference and then the Marvel ref.
yeah. The thing that surprised me was Aaron Stamford appearing in it.
And
The
who
guy that
which
played
one?
Pyro.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like of all the characters you're going to pull from the original X-Men movies, Pyro?
Maybe he
Really?
was the only one
That's
available. Well, Shatterstar seems to be all hale and hearty, and the other guy that's just the normal guy, whatever his name was.
yeah. Was it Paul or something?
Oh, or what Brian or whatever the hell it
But
was.
he lived. He was the only member of X Factor to live. Remember? He tells him to run home, go home.
Oh, I
After
thought he got killed. I'm sorry.
no,
Okay,
no,
but
all the other
Shatterstar did. He got caught in the helicopter blade, didn't he?
yep, yep. And Vanisher hit the electrical wire, and the guy with the chamber or whatever the mouth acid went into the chipper. Yeah,
Chamber, I think, is his name, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So no, the normal guy was just the only one who lived, and
Okay.
Deadpool's like, no, no, you just go home, sweet bear, sweet honey or honey bear, just go on home.
I think the thing that surprised me was that it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. I know that was a rumor out there that was what it was going to be called, but I guess I didn't think that Wolverine was going to be that big of a part of it, that he would have billing, right alongside
You
Deadpool.
don't bring Hugh Jackman in and just
I
go,
get, eh. Well, I mean, to the point where like he's literally the co-star of the movie. Okay,
yeah,
okay, sure.
I can see it.
Okay.
Um, the post everybody's freaking out about today is that they posted friendship bracelets. And it's a
Mhm.
friendship bracelet for Deadpool, a friendship bracelet for Wolverine, and then one that says the date. And of course, everybody's like, oh my God, that means Taylor Swift is going to appear in it.
Uh,
Mind you, there has been an ongoing rumor about that. Plus, you'll notice that she's been hanging out, besides with Travis Kelsey,
uh-huh.
with um,
Ryan Reynolds?
Blake Lively, Reynolds'
Oh,
wife.
Blake Lively, his wife, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, wasn't she born to play Dazzler?
she would make a perfect Dazzler. She
Uh-huh.
absolutely would.
Yeah. I mean, in the world of casting comic book characters, I think that's
Yeah.
kind of like, a given.
So I could totally see her popping up as a fun thing. And,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Uh-huh.
so I think we
I'm
got to jump.
excited. I can't believe that I'm as excited as I am for that movie. I really, really am. What's the deal with the 20th Century Fox logo? Like, kind of bare sitting. Like, what the hell's? Oh, and I thought I saw somebody pointed out that one of the backgrounds looks like a scene from Logan.
Uh huh.
Okay, so
There's a
he's
scene
really
like where his grave is.
okay.
There's what looks to be the Red Skull's car. There's the ice cream truck from Moon Knight in that little area. There's a bunch of stuff.
Well, wow. I mean, it may be literally a tour of all like the movies and TV shows. I wonder if we'll see X-23.
And since I just puked in my mouth a little, I don't think he's a Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, but you know what? Neither am I, but you have to admit she is the perfect,
Oh yeah,
Dazzler.
yeah, and
I mean, I would be happy if they did that because I think people would just lose their minds. It would just,
yeah. And if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, it'll go quickly. You can just shake it off.
mhm.
Well, it showed old Logan in the trailer for a quick second. Yeah. It also looked like it showed him in the patch outfit, the white suit,
Yeah, like
down
in
in
Madripoor.
Madripoor.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. When they're coming up behind him, he's at the table. Yeah. Mhm.
Now, this doesn't mean that we're only going to get Hugh Jackman Wolverine. We may get multiple Wolverines. Like he's looking for the right Wolverine, and he
Sure.
goes, "This one's dead, and that one's not. That one's played by Daniel Radcliffe instead, or something."
Wait, what did I hear about Daniel Radcliffe?
Oh, there's been talk about him playing Wolverine.
Okay, is that what it is? Okay, right, because he supposedly got buff, and everybody's thinking that it's for a role. God.
Yep.
Well, but you know what? That's not that big of a stretch
No,
that as far as his, I could see that as a younger, Logan. Yeah.
but could you imagine going from Harry Potter to Wolverine?
If somebody wants to break out of being typecast, then I guess that would be the way to go. But that does fall under the problem that I have about very recognizable people playing, these comic book characters, and we'll get to that. That topic is coming up, and I'll bring that up again.
Gee, would it be about the Fantastic Four?
Gee.
So, so overall, I was really impressed with the Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
That toupee he's wearing in the beginning is so bad, it's great.
That's why they threw it on the ground and stopped. I love the way the guy just literally just rips it off his head.
Yep.
There's no way you're going with us wearing that thing.
Yep. And I like that it's a birthday party it's basically, here's our first two movies reminiscing. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't remember seeing him, but if the taxi driver's at the birthday party too.
The Vanisher very well may be there if he saved the Vanishers. I mean, if Shatterstar is there, Brad Pitt may be there too.
True. Would be funny just to have him there if they pulled out all the stops and did all the cameos they could.
Yeah. Well, it's Colossus is there, and Negasonic, whatever her name is.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
And her girlfriend is there, right? And Vanessa's there. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it could be literally. Oh, and the old black woman.
Yeah. Al. Blind Al. And Peter is the name of the normal guy.
Okay. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was a good trailer. Again, it wasn't so Wolverine. I mean, I thought we'd just get a ton of Wolverine in it. And it's like, no, just a teaser.
Can you imagine if we had never seen that shot of the two of them walking along, however the hell long ago that was, and we got this hint of it first, and then you'd really wonder, what is he gonna look like in this or whatever. But I mean, Marvel's probably still not very happy. I'm sure Kevin Feige's probably still not happy that shot got released out there.
But you kind of expect those things to get out, So
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those where you come out of it going, I saw this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy, and this line was funny, and
yep.
I can't believe they did that.
That's probably what it's going to be. It's probably going to be, cameo central.
How was there a Stan Lee cameo when he was dead? Yeah.
Oh no.
There's a comedian.
Well, wait. The big question is Deadpool's creator,
Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld, is he going to be? Is he going to have a cameo in it? I get
Mhm.
to see like Deadpool killing him, like killing
Yeah,
his own creator. Oh, it's Rob and isn't it Fabian Nakiza?
Caesar,
It's
yeah,
yeah, Nakiza, whatever his name is. Yeah,
yeah.
that would be
So
funny if
Rob is
they
technically the creator because he had the character and then brought him to
yeah,
Marvel. So, and he
right,
sold it
right,
off to Marvel. So, but in a lot of ways, and I
right.
know this will get a lot of interesting response. Rob created a great visual and a basic idea, but he was just Spider-Man at that point. In
You're absolutely correct. Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't until Joe Kelly and Walter McDaniels did their series
Mm-hmm.
that he started doing the fourth wall breaking and all
Mm-hmm.
of the craziness. So to me,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Kelly and Walter McDaniels are as much of the creation of the Deadpool we have now
Yeah,
as Rob. But no, Rob definitely created the look and the basic idea. But
yeah.
what we love about the character, it's like, Steve Ditko created the look of Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
but it was Stan Lee with the wisecracks
Yep.
and the sad sack
Personality.
stuff and all that. So you
Mm-hmm.
can,
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And that's happened before. I mean, everything we think of She-Hulk was not in that Stan Lee, series that began whenever the hell that was, late 70s or whatever, the Savage
78.
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Which they only did to trademark She-Hulk
Right.
because CBS
Yeah.
was thinking of making a She-Hulk TV series.
Right.
Yeah, Deadpool would have made sense on She-Hulk, but you got to remember the She-Hulk started doing the fourth wall breaking long before Deadpool.
I'm almost thinking that would almost be too much of a good thing to have two of them doing it. Although I can see a She-Hulk cameo in this,
Yep.
in
What I think
Deadpool
they should have
Wolverine.
done is had her walking out of seeing Kevin and
Yeah,
having Deadpool walking in behind her, going,
yeah,
"Hey, Kevin, got a sec?" And that would have been all you needed.
yeah. Agreed.
Yep. All
Agreed.
right, let's go ahead and move on
Uh-huh.
to Marvel's Valentine's Day surprise as
Uh-huh.
they announced the cast of the Fantastic Four and also pretty much showed us that it was going to be set in 1963. So the cast is our Mandalorian love daddy, Pedro Pascal, as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things as Johnny Storm, and Ibn Mas Bakrak from The Bear as The Thing, who will be the first ever Jewish actor to play the Ben Grimm, who is Jewish. They gave us this very 1960s style poster that included a Life magazine cover that had Eisenhower on it from 1963. So now, a couple years ago, I did a video of how I would bring the Fantastic Four, and that was pretty much how I
Yeah.
said I would do it from 1960s, have them end up in the negative zone, have them fight a nihilist and his armies, stay away from Doctor Doom, stay away from, maybe the Mole Man if you want him, but, stay away from Galactus and Silver Surfer, focus on the Fantastic Four and have them in the negative zone. Then when they come out, it's modern day.
Yeah.
And then you can deal with Galactus and Doctor Doom and stuff like that.
Yeah. Full
But
full
I have
credit.
a feeling,
It's on record. You called it.
but I have a feeling you have some issues with the casting.
I have not spoken publicly about this at all since the release of the information. And the Fantastic Four is my most favorite Marvel stuff.
Mhm.
Reed and Ben are my most favorite Marvel characters. I've wanted a real Fantastic Four movie for quite a while. I've only ever seen the first Not, and we're not talking about the Roger Corman movie, although I did see that.
I've
But
seen it too.
the Jessica Alba, whatever, that first one, and was so unhappy with it, I never saw the second one, and I sure the hell didn't see that horrible thing that they made after that. But and Dan, I've said this before. It's like it's taken so long to get to this point that it has sucked some of the energy out of it for me. And there's a part of me that was excited. Like, I couldn't really believe that suddenly out of nowhere we got that drop with that really cool illustration, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was Phil Noto.
Yes.
And he did a second one. There's another one out there too. And I love Phil Noto's work,
Oh
but
yeah.
I don't know. It was just so weird. I felt numb when I first saw it, and I think the thing that really hit me the hardest was Pedro Pascal. I like the guy a lot. I'm a huge fan of Mandalorian, but I think it does fall into that thing where it's like you have somebody so big and is so identifiable and so beloved by so many people that to look at him as Reed Richards, and then you go, there's Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, instead of it's just Reed Richards. Now, the good thing about the other three is I don't really know who they are. I think I've heard Vanessa's name before, but I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, I don't really know who those people are. So it's going to be pretty easy, I think, for me to look at them as the characters. And I do like their look. I think she looks like she's going to be a good Sue Storm Richards. I'm hoping that they make Johnny a blonde.
Oh man.
It's not a deal breaker. But and then I'm really anxious to see what they do with Ben. I really love in the illustration that they have him in like a NASA outfit up on the
Yeah.
wall. The funny thing is that in 1963, that's not what NASA astronaut suits look like. That's like later 60s. That's like Apollo. That's like an Apollo suit. But we won't quibble. I don't know. It's like it again. It's like it's so late coming that I've lost so much faith in that production. I know that they had a lot of challenges as far as they didn't have the rights, and that dragged out for a while. But it's like since then, I think we've heard almost nothing but problems. They had a legitimate delay in things because of the strikes.
Mhm.
I get that. But I think that there's other things that have been going on as far as changing, behind the scenes personnel and things like that. That just I'm hoping I can like fall in love with it as we go along. Funny thing about Pedro is, on the surface, I think he probably will make a good Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he can get that, that the scientific, studious thing in there. I don't really know if he's played anything like that before.
He's played a lot of different parts, but I don't know of anything
Yeah,
specifically like that.
yeah. I mean, it could be really good, but it's to me, it's like I look at him and I say that's Pedro Pascal. The other weird thing about him is that he tends to look almost pretty much all he looks the same in what like it's like he refuses to change his look for his roles. I mean, I don't know. I hope that they can, I don't know, get him to get rid of the mustache. I mean, but then again, nowadays Reed is completely thought of with a beard. I mean, that's been going
Yeah.
on since
I almost want to see him go that direction. I almost see him want to go with a full beard.
yeah, it's if it's going to be set in the 60s, I kind of would like to see him looking a little cleaned up,
Yeah.
that it would fit the role better. What do you think about how they illustrated the outfits? Do you think that is what we're going to expect to see in the movie? Because those are
Uh,
unique to that photo. Those are not from the comics or anything.
right. I think we'll probably get something similar to that,
Okay.
but I don't think it'll be what we get permanently.
Yeah.
I think whatever we get is like a starter suit. And they do that in the Marvels. They always start
Yes.
with something that looks close
Yep.
to the comic book, like the original Captain America suit.
Yeah.
When he punches hit Nazis and
Yeah. The other thing about that illustration is that I'm wondering if that is how the Thing is going to look. I could see them. I mean, that's kind of a pretty big thing to lay out there when you're drawing the other ones to look like the actors, because that's a very comic book Ben Grimm, or the Thing, pardon me.
yeah,
I loved it. I'm like, please
yeah.
have
But I
him
think
look like that. I mean,
I think they can
that's a
do that.
Kirby look there,
Yeah, I think they can do that now with the CGI stuff
Yeah.
because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be, he's going to be in a mocap suit,
Hmm.
and that's what we're going to get. And I think that's exactly what we should get. But you
Yeah.
got to remember, this is being put together by Kevin Feige,
Yep.
who absolutely adores the Fantastic Four
Yep.
and the original run,
Yep.
the Kirby Lee 100 issue run.
Yep.
Matt Shackman is directing it. He also adores that. Plus, we've seen him work in period pieces with the early episodes of WandaVision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a lot of faith in that.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing that's kept me going and is going to keep me going is the thought that Marvel Studios is that they're probably saying we have got to get this absolutely right. And if that's what's kind of delayed things, the things that they can control,
yeah.
then okay. I mean, I will go along with that. Yes, they have to have this right. It's Marvel's first family. It is late. We've got 15, 16, whatever the hell years of the MCU already here, and now we're bringing in the Fantastic Four. What do you think about the other three, the casting of the other three, since you're more familiar with them?
Well, that was what I was going to do. I was actually going to
Good.
talk about them.
Please. Sorry.
And give some of their background.
Sorry. Me and FF, I have my opinions.
Yeah. Joseph Quinn is probably the one that I'm the least familiar with. Uh-huh. I haven't watched Stranger Things in a long time.
Who is he in
the show? Really popular for playing Eddie Munson on that.
Okay.
But he's been in stuff like Les Miserables and Catherine the Great.
Okay. How old is he?
He is... he was born in 94. So 24, 30.
Ooh.
Now, you got to remember, this is going to be an older group of Fantastic Four with, I believe that they're even supposed to have a kid or two at this point.
Okay. All right. Because I was going to say, I think I, would have liked to have seen me at the oldest, maybe an 18-year-old Johnny. Johnny, should have at least the feeling of being younger than the rest of them.
Now, these are going to be 40s and 30s.
Okay.
Like, I think Vanessa Kirby's 35.
Okay. Pedro's like 40 something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Vanessa Kirby, if you're not familiar with her, she's been in the TV series The Crown. She was in the most recent Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Okay.
Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, which I did see.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't that thrilled with her, but I didn't dislike her either.
Okay.
I just think she was also in the Frankenstein Chronicles. She was in Mission Impossible Fallout. So she's gotten really popular.
Okay.
And she's known as being a very good actress. Eben Moss Bachrach is kind of the interesting one to me because he's an older guy. He's going to be similar in age to Pedro Pascal, but then he's supposed to be.
He's supposed, Reed and Ben are contemporaries. Right. Yeah.
Now he's done stuff like he was in Andor, he was in The Bear.
Who's he in Andor? Who's he in Andor?
He was a character named Arvel Skeen in Andor.
I can't think of who that would be.
But he was in 3 episodes. But where I remember him from was season 1 of The Punisher. And he played Microchip.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Oh. He was really good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Well, that was
I even love that pseudo relationship he and Frank ended up in at one point.
that's the best part of the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that in fact that was why the second season was disappointing, because it didn't have that dynamic going on anymore.
Yep.
Okay,
True.
well, I'm a little bit more on board with that. As long as he can do who is Ben, as far as the way Ben talks and acts without making it farcical,
Yeah. No,
you
this guy
know.
is a really, really good actor. He's a very
Okay.
dramatic actor.
All right.
So,
Well, that's good. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
All
and then,
right.
like I said, we get Pedro Pascal. Now, Pedro, everybody thinks of him as the Mandalorian,
Yeah.
but he's got other roles. He's got This Is not This Is Us, The Last of Us that he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Kingsman: The Golden Circle as
Mm-hmm.
one of the guy with the bullwhip.
Mm-hmm.
He did Game of Thrones. He's been in Wonder Woman 1984,
Oh,
where he played Maxwell Lord.
yep.
So he can play all kinds of roles.
Sure. Sure.
So
I again, it's not like I went, oh my God, is he completely wrong for the role? It's just that it's like he's such an identifiable personality as himself, you know,
yeah,
that
there's
I need him to be Reed Richards and not Pedro Pascal.
there's part of me that still would have liked to have seen um, John
Because
Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
I would have been very much on board with that. Very, very much. Yep.
But I get why they didn't want to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the cast. And I don't have any characters that I look at and I go, Marvel made a big mistake on this guy. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
I
Brie
didn't know.
Larson. Brie Larson's the only one that I have said is
Yeah,
miscast.
and I actually like Brie Larson, so
I
you and
know.
I differ on that. But like Tinoch Huerta on Namor, I thought he ended up being a good fit for that.
Yep.
Or
Yep. They sold me
yeah,
on that one.
yeah. So I don't see a whole lot of horrible miscasting. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in the boat of I give faith to the casting department, and and I
It's
know
been
that they're going to
one
do
of
it.
the highlights of Marvel Studios is casting.
Oh yeah,
I've said that over and over and over again. Sometimes even if a movie or a TV show's not that good, you can walk away and said, "But man, did they cast that well?" Yeah,
you look at the characters: Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
Those three right there, and you think who else could have played those parts?
Yep, yep.
You
It's
know,
absolutely true.
and yeah, they recast Bruce Banner, but they recast him to the guy they originally wanted, but Universal insisted on Ed
Mhm,
Norton.
mhm.
And now, how much do we love Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner?
Yep,
Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye.
yep,
You know,
yep.
just
Tom Hiddleston, I mean, as Loki, it's all been good. And I would never ever argue that it's all been good. And you know what? I'm looking forward to hearing about some of the other characters. Like, is Alicia going to be in it?
right.
And who will play her? I mean, they could have how many? It's sad though. I'm glad we had Stan play, Willie Lumpkin way back
Yeah.
when. that was like perfect casting. But
But see, I think that's something to keep in mind, though, is that Marvel is also open to looking at actors.
mhm,
RDJ was somebody that um, John Favreau kept putting in front of him. They were nervous about him because he was, a rough casting at the time.
yeah, that's
You
what
know,
Eddie just said, that there was pushback.
yeah,
You
there
know.
was. Or
Mhm,
Chris Pratt as Star Lord.
mhm,
He went through the process multiple times, and it was one of the casting directors who kept bringing him back up to James Gunn before he finally went, all right. we can go in there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or Marvel deciding we're going to wait and we're going to go ahead and wait for Benedict Cumberbatch for Doctor Strange because they were
that
all,
was
everybody
smart.
was like, we'll move forward with River Phoenix or Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been the same,
No, I agree.
you know.
When does Fantastic Four start filming?
Well, it's going to be out July of next year. So they've got to start soon.
If they haven't already started.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Well, they just moved it. Originally, it was going to be May,
Yeah.
but they flipped it with Thunderbolts.
Okay.
But basically, Fantastic Four is coming out the week after Superman Legacy.
Yeah, I heard that. So we'll be getting 2 Marvel movies next year.
We're supposed to get 4.
4? I thought they were dropping back from that. No?
Yeah, but they got a lot backlogged now.
Yeah, you're right. So Captain America.
Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, then Fantastic Four, and then in November we're supposed to get Blade, but I would not be surprised if that one gets bumped to 2026.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That's a little much.
But the problem is, I think they really want to hang on to Mahershala Ali, and he's finally happy with how things are moving forward. But there was a draft of the Blade script that almost made him the tertiary character in his own movie. So
I think the best thing that could happen is that both Marvel and DC say, okay, we've got these 2 huge movies within a week of each other, and we need to make them better. Now we need to really go all out. They need to be the very best that they can possibly be. They're going to go head to head, but in the long run, we're all going to win if they're like just 2 amazing movies, and we're not going to sit there and go, well, this one was better than this one. What if it was like, oh my God, they're both amazing.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing is that the fans of these movies will go.
Mm-hmm.
If both movies are amazing, they'll go to both movies multiple times.
Absolutely.
They won't not go to Superman because, there's some idiots out there who won't.
Yeah. Can't imagine.
All right, we're going to end with Ed's question. Have you heard any rumors on what they're doing with Kang now, or is that still up in the air?
Good question.
The last I've heard is that Avengers 5 is still the Kang Dynasty, and there are people they're looking at for recasting. Now, there's a couple names that have come up, but I don't remember them off the top of my head, but that's the path they're going. They're looking to recast and move forward with Kang continuing. So they're not dropping Kang. They're not making a change to the, it's still Kang. It's still Kang Dynasty, Avengers 5.
Yeah.
So they're still moving forward with their plans. There's a couple actors I've seen them put forward. I want to say one is John David something. Trying to remember what he was in.
I think that's what they need to do is just recast it.
Yeah,
it's a shame, but recast it.
Yep.
Because you've already put so much investiture into Kang as a character, by this point.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get that name real quick. Coleman Domingo is one of the people that has been talked about a potential. He was in the recent The Color Purple. He's done some other really good stuff.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy that was in Luke Cage as? Was it Copperhead? What's his name?
Talking about the first villain?
Yeah.
Copperhead? He's playing Blade.
Oh, right. And I didn't care for the second guy very much.
Yeah.
But I really liked what's his name? Okay.
So some of the names that I'm seeing are Damson Idris, John Washington, who I was trying to think of before. I think it's John David Washington, but David Oyelowo, and John Boyega. But John Boyega has come out and said he doesn't want it. And then Coleman Domingo. Those are the ones that have gotten the most talk lately.
Yeah, John Boyega would say that if they told him to say that. So that's, you know what? That's very interesting. I wouldn't have thought of him, but that's very interesting. And he is already in the Disney family. And as we've seen with Pedro Pascal, you know, to be in the Disney family, you get the big roles.
I like John Boyega a lot. I don't think he has the gravitas for the role.
Okay.
I think John Boyega is more of a hero. I think you need someone who could be scary, who can look at you and cause fright.
Okay.
And I don't see that in Boyega. Nothing against him, but
Yep. Okay.
I just don't see it.
All right. Point taken.
So, all right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Good
Woo!
chat.
Woo! That was a lot.
Javier Bardem would be an interesting choice for Kang. Yeah. It would be a big switch, but I think it would be interesting.
I need to think about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, how about Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He would be interesting.
How about Idris Elba?
Kind of been in the MCU twice.
Okay.
He was also in the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance movie.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
Okay.
All right, guys. So good chat. We will see you all next week. Jim and I will be back. I will definitely be trying to do my shows on the Experience this week. So I will see you guys there. And have a great week. And